start with, we'll go with the flow here. Michele, can you, what you've been doing lately and anything that you would like some help from the group?
Yes. So hi everybody. Michele Manocchi here from Canada and expat from Italy. I work mostly on aspect related to organizational culture, and in the last couple of years, I'm focusing on equity, diversity, and inclusion. The idea is that I am trying to let my clients understand that EDI is a can be organized as a strategy, and I'm trying to use the tools that we are discovering, creating, discussing with the Implementation Strategy Institute, and basically this is what I'm working on. At the moment, I don't see any specific needs that I might ask help for, but glad to be here and to share.
Thank you, Michele. Good to see you there. Peter, small intro, and how are you doing? How is the book going? Any help? What are your next plans?
Hi, how you doing? So, Michaela, I'm also in Canada, as you know, a very big country. So I'm in Toronto. Thank you. The book's going well. Still getting sales. So, those who haven't bought it, it's on Amazon. Please go ahead and buy it. So I think your observation, Antonio, about taking a couple months off is very good. I certainly felt the need of that, and that's been my plan, to try to take some time off this summer to regroup. I think many of us have felt, the number of pressures. How do I want to say this? There's various terms that people are using to describe, how it's been with being in lockdown, various forms of lockdowns or restrictions that we've had. And now that it looks like in parts of the world and here in Canada, things are opening up a little bit, it'll be nice to go out and take advantage of the nice weather before we get to another winter, where in Canada we get locked down anyway, whether we like it or not because of the weather. So just I think you've got a good idea to just give us all a bit of a break, to recharge, regroup, remember what's important in our lives, and then we can jump back in September and focus on the next year.
Thank you. What's your big thing for next year, Peter? Do you have anything?
No, that's what I'm going to be thinking about over the summer.
Makes sense. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you.
Herbert, you might be new or seen you once. Can you introduce you, please, and welcome?
Yeah, thanks for the welcome, Antonio. My name suggests that I'm German, and I'm living in Porto in Portugal. I came here many years ago to work on a smart city. We pivoted. There is no smart city around here, as far as I can see. I kept myself busy with consulting work. I come from Capgemini. I've been 10 years at Capgemini. And once I studied sustainability for an MBA, I wanted to make a move and work in that space. Hence, the smart city idea was great. I then started working here at the business school to give classes on strategy and marketing. And right now I finished creating a course which also has run through. It's a course about business design and sustainable growth. So I'm merging business acumen with design and systems thinking, which I guess is quite a hype at the moment. But we really tried to do a good job and really make it human-centered and teach the students the tools, the frameworks, give them good examples how to tackle these topics. And in addition, mixing it with sustainability goals and teaching them how to go about it, giving them a framework. So wherever they work, in whichever context they are, they have an idea how to tackle that and create. Basically, the objective was give the students a playbook with which they can go tackle these problems independent for which industry they work or in which industry they're aiming to consult. And that's what we did. And turns out the students were all professionals. They are mostly service designers or design thinkers, couple of business people. The majority of them actually are freelancers and consultants from the big companies. So I was very positively surprised about that. Hence, I could not attend all these calls because I was writing content for the course. I had to focus on that. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm very happy because I have a background in project management. I can't avoid that. So I thought this is my group, my network. So I must attend as often as I can.
Thank you. And we would love to hear more about what the content one day that you've developed. We are very much into environmental matters. So thank you.
My pleasure to provide feedback on that.
Thank you. So for the people that just joined, the friends, we're doing a bit of a debrief session today, just what you've been doing. Do you need any help? What's your big plans for the coming months next year? And then we're going to have a shorter session. Paula had to apologize. She was going to join a webinar or my webinar, which has been recorded, but it's at this time. So, so we'll have a shorter session, a bit more intimate. We usually don't have time to talk. Lourdes, thank you. How are you? What are your plans and do you need any help?
Hi, everybody. Thank you. For those that doesn't know me, I'm living in Venezuela, working as PMO consultant and freelance in the region, specifically in Latin America, in South America. Well, I keep on working as freelance in helping organizations with projects, portfolio, and PMOs. I'm trying to, because nowadays I work as a freelance consultant. However, I would like to scale my job. I'm thinking how to do it because I only have 2 hands. So sometimes some organizations contact me, but I doesn't have a company or a way to do it by my own. So I'm trying to figure out how to scale my operation and have some kind of, I don't know exactly how to do it. Also, you know that I write some content for my network and on monthly basis, but I had been working in 2021 in a book. I never had been write a book. It's going to be my first, so I'm somehow busy with this personal project. All the help and the thoughts and you that are experienced as author, it is going to be welcome. Of course, this book is going to be in Spanish, my mother tongue. So that's it. And besides, I have been working actively with a PMO Global Alliance, first as a part of the youth committee for the PMO Global Awards 2021. Also, I had been designated as ambassador for the PMO Global Alliance for Venezuela. Venezuela is not a hub. We never had been participating in this contest. So part of my functions for the second semester is just to be as ambassador, try to have companies, organizations to participate in for the next year in the contest. So for that, also I'm trying to build a community for the PMO Global Alliance in my country.
Thank you, Lourdes. And I'm sure we can help you on some of the things that you mentioned. on the
Yeah,
scaling up.
thank you.
You know that I created a company of experts, freelancers from around the world. So we can talk about that. In book writing, there is several people who have written a book in this call right now, and I'm sure they will be happy to give you some advice, including me.
Thank you. They are going
Okay.
to be very welcome. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so the 1 billion kids, man. Mark, good to see you. It's been a while. Tell us, how have you been? What are your next steps? Big plans? Anything you need from this group?
Hi, everybody. I'm very pleased to be part of this group. It's always nice to see you. Lourdes, welcome to the world of authors. Somebody once said to me, when you become an author, you become immortal because they will your book will last a lot longer, hopefully, than you will. And the so I've been working on empowerment. That is what I do. I'm up to my 9th and 10th books. I am trying to move young people and, in fact, old people away from the idea that you need to be educated to do anything to the idea that you need to be in the future empowered. And by empowered, I mean not potentially, not that you have something in you, but that you actually accomplish things. And that's why this group is such a relevant group, because you are a group of accomplishers. And we started a ministry of accomplishment, a ministry of empowerment, accomplishment, and impact globally to advise people about this. And what I'm very interested is what you are doing in terms of young people, in terms of how we can take the fact that they are so capable these days, that they have, because of their changes in attitudes and their changes in technology, they have capabilities that nobody born in the 20th century had when they were growing up. And how do we take advantage? How do we help them take advantage? Not us, but how do we help them take advantage of what they can do and see the world differently? And even though it's going to be a world of AI and technology, we're not going to run out of problems. We're not going to run out of people who need help. We're not going to run out of people who want to help. So how do we make that happen in this new time that we're in is the question that I'm concerned about.
What is your next big thing? Have you published? Are you going to publish? When is it the launch date?
I have 3 books that I'm working on simultaneously right now. The first is going to be called Digital Natives Rising. It's actually came out as a pre-book, but it's about beliefs for kids in the 21st century. The next one is going to be called Empower Them Now, which is a book for adults about how to empower students, and we're working on that. I just got an editor. And the third one is going to be Reframes. 10 reframes for the 21st century, I'm calling it now. I don't know if that's the final title, but really starting to look at things in a very different way. And those 3 books will come out, and obviously we'll want to talk about all those ideas. I wanted to ask you, Antonio, is there a way to post to the group? So if I have a video interview, for example, I've been doing several of those. If I want to post it to this group, is there a way for me to do that, or is the best way to send it to you? How does that work? Are we a
Best way, yes.
Yeah.
Put it in the LinkedIn group and let me know, Antonio, I put this there, and I will in the next communication say, well, go to the LinkedIn and there's this comment or this post or this video or this is request for help from Mark. So just put it and tell me. Just tell me whatever you need to share with the group. Tell me. Send me a link, and I will do it.
How do I identify the LinkedIn group? Does it have a group identifier when I get emails from it?
Yeah, it's called Global Initiatives for Positive Impact. You are a member, so if you look into your
Okay.
member,
everything that says GIPI. Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
And you're publishing 3 books at the same time. Wow.
I'm going to try to publish 3, and then what's even more exciting is the companion to Empower Them Now is something called Empower Yourself Now, and that's a book directly for kids about what they can do, but it may not be a book. I've been talking to people, and books are, as many of us know, over. Unless you happen to have a very, very famous name, you'll sell a couple of thousand books. So we're looking at TikTok and YouTube and other ways that we can effectively get information out there, not necessarily in book form, but that will reach a wider and more global audience.
Thank you, Mark. So excited to have this amazing group in our network. Thank you, Mark. I see Thibaut. Thibaut, it's always busy. So good to see you, Thibaut. And we need to finish something. I didn't forget. I've just been too busy. And you too. Tell us what you've been doing lately. Are you working with the big presidents around the world? Tell us, artificial intelligence, big data. What's the next big thing? For those that don't know, Thibaut has been working for an app, I can say this in the community, for President Macron in France, an app on the phone to track all the projects, public sector projects that they're doing in France. And in one instant, he knows where they are. So we are partners in our company.
We can call it the SLAP app.
Yes.
For Macron.
Thibaut.
We can't hear you, Thibaut.
I think your phone is somebody listening, Thibaut. You're working for 2 very important people. That's what happens when you work with presidents. Better not. While Thibaut gets on the line, let me go to Mike. Mike Gorham, good to see you.
Okay, thanks, Antonio. Yeah, guys, I'm working in 2 separate areas which have different requirements. So the first one is on pricing, something where I've developed an expertise over the years, and I have my own pricing project methodology, which has proved
Okay.
Yes, I have this pricing methodology which I've developed and which has proven very successful. I need to get it out there. I need to find more people who are prepared to work with me on this, where it produces results. It produces results reliably and quickly and measurably. But I need to find more people who know about who want to work with me on it. The second area is on project management associated with mergers and acquisitions, where I work with a larger consultancy, and there I'd be interested in anybody who's done some high-profile work in M&A project management, and perhaps doing a podcast or something just to get a little bit more joint promotion and knowledge of what we do and what you guys have done in the past.
Great. Thank you, Mike. So for sure, I work in post-merger integration for 5-10 years, and I have some articles and stuff. Thibaut has done the integration part for technology, so he's a guru in that space. So certainly already a few names that could be useful.
Cool.
Mike.
Thank you.
Back to Thibaut. No, go out and come back, Thibaut. Something it went wrong. Just get out and I'll give you back Something is wrong with the connection.
Or you may need to reboot your computer. That
Or
happens.
that. Let's go to Milan. Milan, good to see you.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Same like other, small intro and anything that you are working on and or you need help.
Antonio, I have actually watched nearly all of your presentations on Thursday, so I am not a new one here. I have been an project and program managers for many years, many decades, nearly all of my career. I am in retirement now. I am a happy retired man, and I am working on a new topic, which I would call retirement preparation for healthy, wealthy, and happy retirement for purposeful people and project managers.
Nice.
I am preparing a video course for Coursera, and I will be ready to publish it on one of the future Thursdays with your sessions.
Nice.
So once I have it prepared, I will let you know.
Very curious to hear about that course. Yes. We all want to retire as soon as possible, right? Wealthy, healthy, and doing what we like. Thanks,
Exactly.
Milan.
Yes.
We look forward to that. Let's see, Thibaut. If...
Voilà. Is it working?
Voila.
Voilà. It's okay. Thank you.
Tell us what you've been doing now with who you're working, if you can share. I know it's top confidential sometimes.
No, sometimes, but basically, voilà. So, 20 years experience in multi-layer post-merger and integration programs. For 15 years, we worked a lot in the banking sector, basically. So I've been merging banks, separating banks. I've been cost-cutting in banks and in insurance company for the first 15 years of the company. We keep on doing that, in fact, Antonio, because now I'm still working at the BNP Paribas Group. And in fact, 3 years ago, we sold them a platform to manage 5 transversal programs in parallel. But we knew that there could be more. And in fact, in the last 4 years, they managed 28 different programs in parallel, in fact, on this platform. I heard Lourdes about saying how to scale. Instead of having 5 to 6 project management professionals for each of these projects, we did this with 10 FTA, in fact, basically. And that's the whole idea of Uberizing a lot of all the project management activities and being able to collect all the data on the single platform and being able to produce all the reporting that you need at different layers, in fact, and also propose some very simple strategy execution management solutions, because basically, and I'm going to say a big word, we can update projects and programs in less than 1 minute per month, in fact. So we just turn around, in fact, most of what's the common proposition. Lately, and that's what Antonio was talking about, we had the opportunity to work in the French government first to manage the inter-ministries reforms. So basically reforms which are handled by more than one ministry. And in fact, due to the COVID and so on, we are now working with them on the project of France 2022, basically the re-election program of Macron. We work in the France Relance, which is how France will spend 100 billions in the next years, in fact, to relaunch the economy. And that's what I didn't tell you yet, Antonio. We were asked also to see how we could, in fact, track the global investment of France for something like 387 billions in the next 10 years, in fact. So it's the same platform. It's very simple. It's very straightforward. It's based on data management technologies. It's based on simplified strategy execution management software, because basically I found that everything that's what's on the market is far too complex, in fact, to be used by a massive amount of people. And I'm looking forward to which are our next big thing. We will propose very short this type of technology solution to, I hope, many asset-based consultant, because I strongly believe that asset-based consulting will be the future of the consulting itself, because tomorrow people are requiring not only skills from consultants, but also consultants backed with some technology, because they want to also have some lever. So that's one thing that I'm working on, and I will try to make this technology as cheap as possible to be used by as many people. So that's why we are discussing today with Antonio to see how we could, in fact, propose this to everyone for a very reasonable or free price, and then see what we can do with it. And what I'm working on today is on a unified strategic execution measurement system, because I believe that we can unify the way you measure realization for transformation, performance, and compliance, which means that you can oversimplify the way when you talk about the realization of a massive initiative, and you can limit, like I like Parker and the wine testing. I don't know if you know them, but basically they just give you one score on 100, and you know precisely how well your realization is. And that's what we are aiming to. And we believe that we have the basic of the model. And I'm looking for people which are interested to collaborate, in fact, in this elaboration of the model, because basically it's, according to me, the most simple way to speak about a very complex initiative by using very simple way. Voilà. That's what I'm doing today.
Thank you, Thibaut. It's a scientific man on data, big data. He's been there 20 years, and it's very modest, obviously, but he's doing amazing stuff. Yeah, and we're working together to bring this into mainstream, so that people see the focus on the benefits, not so much on the inputs and outputs of projects. Thank you, Thibaut. Donnie, so good to see you. Another guru in projects and working with amazing stuff, and good friend Jonathan, that I talked to him yesterday. So Donnie, tell us a bit more what you're doing and your next projects. I know you have many.
Hi, Antonio. To say that I'm overdue a call with you is an understatement, because there's about at least 4 things that I'm doing that overlap, I think.
Yeah.
Very interesting, Thibaut. I'm just about to press click on the chat, and one of the links is to the project data analytics hacks that run in the UK, and they bring people together from all over to tackle big data challenges. So I'm not an expert in this, but I'm an advisor to the guy who runs that. That might be a very interesting community. And I think there was some other chap speaking earlier. Apologies, I'm about to go into London, so I'm slightly distracted. So that's one. What am I doing? Crikey. If Jonathan, you know of one other initiative I'm involved with, Antonio, which is the Video Opiner.
Yeah.
And again, I've sent a link to that for people that might be of interest, that we're just about to do this about sharing knowledge using a very simple, quick video platform. And I'm sure, Antonio, it's kind of a natural thing for you to want to share. So I'm sure it would be of interest to a lot of other people as well, what that is. And the thing that's likely the most interesting maybe for the group, because you've used the word sustainability, is with the Project Data Analytics Task Force, we've got a carbon initiative, and it's going to be a self-evaluation for people across the projects world in the UK, hopefully supported by the Major Projects Association, yada, yada. And it'll be to try and motivate and nudge people to take some more action within their projects. You could maybe do this, or you scored a 4 out of 5, the rest of the people in your sector score 4.5. So it's a very bottom up. It's not asking for figures. It's actually trying to get people to say where they think they are against a whole series of things to do with primarily data within the projects world. So that's, and if I get the opportunity, I'd love to share that, Antonio, because we're actually going to go for an August launch of that, and that's supported by a whole series of different companies, and we've got a workshop tomorrow. And if anybody listened to any of that, you'd think that I'm a data person, and as you likely know, I'm not. It's just one of those funny things. Just very quickly, my commercial world is just, I finished with the UK Parliament on a big transformation program, and I may be back shortly to help them with a digital academy. Just finished a bit of work with the Nuclear Decommissioning Authority, which covers all the nuclear bodies in the UK, doing their risk and assurance competence model. And that might get picked up as a basis for an industry a national standard, possibly. And then there's the other big bit of work I'm doing at the moment is with the Croatian government to put effectively a project investment delivery framework into the government, and a kind of very, very cut down IPA, the Cabinet Office's IPA from the UK, and drop that in as well. And then there's stuff to do with student development company, Highways England, digital rail program, and the MOD. So it's a bit eclectic. And as you know, Antonio, most of my focus is always human people. Even though I started everything to do with data, it's just funny how these things meander around. So if it was around help or whatever, I think the things that would most interest me is, or most, hopefully I can be of interest to people here. One is the Opiner initiative. So watch out for that. I think you'll all enjoy that, and maybe the opportunity to contribute. And the second is if there was an opportunity to share about the carbon self-evaluation, that would be fantastic. I'd love people's feedback. We've got an opportunity for, well, maybe we've missed it, because actually we need to get the thing launched by August, I think, to get data in advance of COP26. And there's 2 books in the go as well. Apart from that, nothing much. Just twiddling my thumbs and trying to work out how to spend my time.
Thank you, Donny. If you have a couple of links, I will send a wrap-up email in the next days to everyone. So if you have a look there or have a look there, mark the same or provide input, just let me know. Just send me the links, put this into the next email, and then we'll go. We'll take us a few weeks break. Thank you, Donny. Great to have you here.
Yeah, it's fantastically interesting.
Yeah. Tommaso, anything you want to share?
Yes, thanks. Sorry, I can't use the camera because the internet connection is not very stable today.
Okay.
So if you don't mind, I can talk, but you don't see me.
It's okay. We see a picture.
So my background is in finance and accounting. As I said, other times I met Antonio because Antonio was one of my professors at MBA at Solvay in Brussels. And I have a consulting firm together with some lawyers and other accountants. And actually, my projects are related to some, I'm working with some startups. In particular, one of those startups was one of my clients showed me a project that he has with an app. He wants to have an app to exchange the business card between people without giving the real card. So it's like an app that can work by phone, just put together the cell phone where you can download the app. This is one of the projects where I'm working at the moment. Then for my real business, I'm trying to work more in the internalization process of small and medium enterprise. I have a PhD on that, so I'm trying to work on that too. Then almost 1 year ago, I started to work to have a sabbatical, but because of the COVID, so I had to postpone, and probably I will have my sabbatical year next year. I still have to understand what I want to do in that year, but as soon as possible, I will have it.
Thank you, Tommaso. If you want us to brainstorm about your sabbatical activities, let us know. I'm sure we have good ideas.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tommaso. Good to have you. Alan, tell how are you doing? What are your plans? Do you need any help? from this group?
Hi guys. Yeah, right now I need a babysitter because this little one here is
Wow.
getting very hungry. So I'm not gonna stay very long.
It's okay.
But basically, the pandemic has had me locked down for most of the period, so I haven't really been getting a chance to accomplish as much as I wanted to. The primary goal was to launch a consultancy focused on strategy implementation, but that has been delayed off and on. So, but hopefully I can, with vaccinations rolling out, hopefully I can get started and really try to make up for the lost time. Yeah. So I'm willing to work with anyone from this group or anywhere else who might be interested in strategy implementation and things like management planning, digital transformation, and so on, to see how we can add value and save the world, so to speak.
Perfect. Thank you, Alan. Great daughter there. Nice. Nice to see. Nice to see the future leaders, because the current are a bit of a mess. Anyway, well, I think it's great to see you, and it's just amazing already. There's so many connections, sustainability, kids, data, working with government. So I hope you connect with each other, and let me know if you need any specific to share with there's 420 people in the emailing experts. And I hope we can do something, not just non-profit, but profit as well. That was the purpose of setting up Projects & Co. I think this network has so much potential that we can also approach companies and provide services on technology, on sustainability, on empowering. So it's just I didn't enough have time for it. So the next weeks I will be recording for LinkedIn two trainings. They sent me the kit. First time I record for LinkedIn, so something also opening the door that I'm happy to share later on. Harvard Business Review as well. I'm going to most likely publish an article in the magazine, which is like the best of the best, most influential. They say we recognize this trend. The world is moving from operations to projects. So lots of things going on. I think we are ahead in a very exciting moment. And I think networks, ecosystems is the way forward. So we just need to figure out how we put all the pieces together. But with the people today in the call, we were 12 or 13, we could do lots of stuff. And across the world now, luckily with this virtual thing. So I'll leave you these thoughts there. And I think it will be good to take two months break. We'll still communicate for sure. And if you need any specific for the community, just let me know and I'll share as well. And that's it.
Quick question.
Yeah.
You just said something that I actually tried to write down. The world is shifting from, and then you said from something to projects. What was the something?
From operations to projects.
Operations. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. And let's connect, Thibaut. We need to follow up. And Lourdes, yes. We need to do that. And so if we don't... Yeah?
Yeah, just ask something. Donny is still there or did he leave?
No, Donny is not there, but I can forward you his email. I know this big data group, they have weekly things, and maybe it's a good way for you to present there. But write me, Thibaut, and I'll check that.
But it's just not for him, but it's something we're working on. I didn't mention because that's one of the future big thing we are working on. We realize that these ESG programs that needs to be implemented in every single company which is above 250 FTE, in fact in Europe, is incredible from a strategic execution point of view. Why? Because you talk about initiatives that will run for 10 to 20 years, which are which go beyond, in fact, the limit of the organization, because you need to implement programs and projects, not only with your organization, but with suppliers and also your clients and even your competitors, I believe.
Yeah.
And basically, this is something which is also consuming a lot of data, which do not exist at all for the moment, because there is no single organization in the world which knows when they buy fuel, if the fuel is from the biomass or from the, which means that data is not existing, processing of data is nowhere. We need about CO2 or CO2 PNL, carbon PNL, carbon balance sheet, and so on, which are just words, in fact, today, but nothing exists. And basically, it requires some strategy execution management skills. Because why? Because they will launch these initiatives, and they will have to deliver them by people which are not the same, because people will leave the organization and so on. And there is a huge issue, scarcity of skills in this field. And I believe that this is a very, not only trendy, but very interesting subject to move forward. Because why? Governments will work on it, financial institutions will work on it, corporate will work on it, and all SMEs which are above 250 FTE. And I believe there is room there for a lot of activities in relation with strategic execution.
Thank you, Thibault. And I'm a big fan of the topic. I know Bern was talking about that. So let's connect on that. Let's we can have Paula was going to talk about ASC today. So yes, let's follow up. I'm very, very interested. Okay, take care, stay well, and let's keep connected, and we'll see each other in a couple of months. And apologies from Paula again. Take care.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Antonio.
Bye.